Hello everyone. Before we start today's video, if you could all do me a solid and lightly tap the like button, perhaps share the video about and leave a comment. If you are not subscribed, subscribe as well. It would greatly help this channel. Thank you very much. Well, isn't this just fantastic? Captain's Log, Subdates 2211 to 9.7. The Halls of Injustice are known and renowned for its inclusive stance that all inmates are unworthy of an iota of respect. We take this so far as to extend this courtesy to the deceased, as is our privilege. Welcome everyone to the Halls of Injustice. Today we welcome inmates number 147 to the ISO cubes. Inmates number 147's name is Jodiee Hart, and Jodiee Hart is a repeat offender. I don't mean that in the sense that she has appeared in the Halls of Injustice before, but in the sense that she has actually committed similar crimes in the past. Those crimes have lived with her for over 5 years. Yet apparently, she still has yet to learn her lesson, because no matter how hard she tries to reinvent herself, she ends up cocking up all over again when she is invariably and inevitably caught out. Ordinarily, I would take the time to tell you a bit about who Jodiee Hart is, but I can't. The majority of the articles I have found talking about Jodiee Hart all appear to be copy-paste of each other. Only one of them provides context as to the first crime and the second crime, and that is the Daily Mail of all places. So what I want to do is tell you about what she did in 2015 that understandably got her into hot bother, and how she appeared to have not learnt her lesson all these years later, when she reinvented herself and decided to flout the restrictions imposed upon her, indefinite restrictions, in favour of money, which I can fully understand. But as you're going to get caught, and the nature of the crime is going to make it quite clear that while I can understand it, I do not empathise with it. So in 2015, and this comes directly from Jodiee Hart, she said, "I was chatting to somebody via Skype and Snapchat, and have received and sent images of a sexual nature. I was prosecuted. It is a mistake that has lived with me since, and I carry guilt and shame." 2015 was a bit of a rough time, having had a broken down relationship, drug misuse, alcohol misuse, and homelessness. I feel it may have played a part to why I did what I did. I come from a background of abuse as a child, neglection, and homelessness as a teen. Sending and receiving images sounds like a nothing burger, except the person on the receiving end was a minor. Okay, she at the time was 25. So inappropriate is the correct word. Criminal is another correct word. Prison is what you deserve. All the mitigating factors you introduce are cliche and trope-like at this point. Why take responsibility when you can just fob it off as, "Oh, my upbringing, I was abused, so naturally I want to do it to another person"? This level of stupidity is why many people have to go to hospital to get their eyes surgically put back in front of them because they've rolled them so hard they've snapped their optic nerve. We here do not have an iota of respect for you, and I had actually forgotten Skype existed. When I started my YouTube career, I started on Skype, communicating with other creators. Same with Snapchat, to be honest. In November 2017, Jodiee Hart was given an indefinite sexual harm prevention order. Now, I have on multiple occasions told you about this, but I'm going to tell you again. The SHPO, formerly known as the Sexual Offence Prevention Order, or the SOPO, is a court order that can be requested by the police or court when there is a specific concern about an individual. This court order will be requested to prevent a person from engaging in a particular activity. It is quite common for a person who is convicted of an online sexual offence relating to children to be subject to these. Conditions include not being allowed to visit places where it is likely there'll be many children, no access to the internet without installed computer monitoring software, and no deletion of internet history. Police can also, and are required to, go to your home without giving you notice to ensure you comply with your conditions. In this case, Jodiee found a way around it to an extent. You see, Jodiee moved from Stoke, Staffordshire to Runcorn. She also enrolled in university. She changed her whole life. In 2018, she set up an OnlyFans account. This account charges £10 a month. She also has an escorting profile where she charges £150 an hour. She's a very, very busy philanthropist. She's also listed as a webcam model. Just thought I'd insert that as well. Now, how do you get around that without drawing the attention of the police? She changed her name, well, her online ones, to Jennifer XXX. So when the police conducted regular checks, undoubtedly she would have hidden the device that may well have that profile associated with it. We're going to come back to that in a moment, because we have to skip ahead a bit of time. So instead I'm going to go back to a quote from Jodiee Hart. In 2020, I had completed 2 years of probation, had counselling and applied for university. By 2021 I moved from Runcorn and started studying video game design. The police want you to re-offend. They decided to breach me on the condition I did not register the OnlyFans name with the police, and it did not match the one they had on system. It is quite easy to make a mistake with a username, but there is more to it than that. You see, in 2021, in December of 2021 that is, she had breached the terms of her release and of her sexual harm prevention order. As part of Jodiee Hart's sexual harm prevention order, she was not permitted on Snapchat. Yet when the police conducted a search, they found Snapchat installed on her phone. This is when they started to do a little digging, because once you've broken one thing, they're going to have to start looking to see if you are perhaps elsewhere. Your behavior being untoward in one respect, they're not going to trust you. They have to go looking and digging with a little bit of forensic analysis. So no doubt the nerds in the lab had a massive wankathon, regardless of whether or not you're attractive or not. In turn, the police confronted Jodiee Hart about this, and because this went to trial, the prosecutor said there had been a discussion that was a breach of the sexual harm prevention order and the Snapchat was deleted. But by January, it was put back on the phone. This is when the police found out about Jennifer XXX, which meant that Jodiee then had to admit in a police interview that she re-downloaded it because she wanted to talk to somebody, claiming that she was lonely, and that the police force in Runcorn, Cheshire, as opposed to the Staffordshire police who were talking to her, were okay with her using Snapchat because of those circumstances. Jodiee Hart had to plead guilty for failure to comply with the notification requirements of the Sex Offenders Register and for breaching the Sexual Harm Prevention Order, which isn't a good look for anyone really. She earlier mentioned in her statement to the Mail Online that she really wanted to move beyond this because of course she's done with it. She's making a new life for herself, but what she had done was breach the terms of the prevention order and of the Sex Offenders Register, which had not been alluded to until now. A lot of people use Snapchat as a way of sending quick pictures, short videos, getting their content out there very fast to as many people as possible. Jennifer XXX, after a little digging, had OnlyFans, something called Admire Me, which is still up, Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat. A few of those don't exist anymore, OnlyFans and Instagram being the notable, and Snapchat. Twitter does, but I don't believe it's her account. But that's only because it's in Spanish. I don't think that's her account. Perhaps a linking of a different account, or maybe simply just changing things cause. Who am I to know? As a consequence for breaching both the Sex Offenders Register and a Sexual Harm Prevention Order, she is now subject to a deprivation order. Now this one does hurt her. It does inhibit her ability to perform her job, because this deprivation order is on her mobile phone. That does not mean she couldn't upload to OnlyFupa, or to Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, or that VIP site I alluded to earlier. But to do so means she needs access to a computer, a tablet, but she's not allowed those either because this deprivation order absolutely hamstrings her. When I was trying to find the link tree, or for links, just so I could provide sources for Jennifer XXX, I got sent to a site with someone who looks very similar to Jennifer, but is, well, a trap. Yep. The things we have to go and look for, just to give you the correct information. Please smash the like and watch the video, it means the world to me. Now, when I was looking up what a deprivation order was, the Sentencing Council mentions that the court has the power to deprive an offender of property used for the purpose of committing or facilitating the commission of an offence, whether or not it deals with the offender in any other way. Before making the order, the court must regard to the value of the property and the likely financial and other effects on the offender. No doubt the court thought about this and went, well, you were on OnlyFans. That was one of your sources of income as a webcam model as well, and the escort thing. I guess you can just be an escort person with a burner phone and no internet access instead, because screw you, you facilitated child. No. We here at the Halls of Injustice have a very strict sentence for people like Jodiee Hart. Firstly, we're going to remove the second E from your name, Jodiee. Whoever thought that was funny, you're an idiot. Second, your sentence is you're going to have your genitals removed. We cannot risk you procreating. Third, we're going to put them in a glass container and you're going to watch them decompose, while you spend the next 10 years of your life in one of these delightful isocubes, Fuggler included. Ta-ta, everyone.